Oh man, what's going on? Check it out, it's the Cushman 48 volt golf cart. 6 batteries in it right now, but I just got a package in the mail today. Well, somebody dropped it off. I think it might have been UPS, I don't know, from our new friends at vatrepower.com. This is a lithium battery that is going to go in the Cushman. Came across in a cargo aircraft. This thing's supposed to weigh like 100 pounds, I believe. So I got the old two-wheel cart out here to help me get it over to the garage, because that's where I'll be doing the install on it. And I don't really feel like carrying it that far. I don't know, maybe it's not quite 100 pounds, but I mean, you can move it around like this. But I think a deadlift, no thank you. So I'm gonna get this over here and take it over there real quick and put it in there. On the show, on the Chad Teagan YouTube channel show. Yeah, I'm shocked there's no weight on the outside of this box or team lift. Usually there's weight on boxes that tell you how much it is, or team lift. I'm shocked that it only has the battery information on there, and that's it. But it's what it is, it's out here. So you see me dragging it around. Yeah, there's no weight whatsoever, shockingly. But once we get it opened up, we'll check it out. All right, and welcome back. Let's get this Vatrer box open here, because today I'm going to be installing it in the Cushman. Try to clean some things up around here, that way I had some room to work. So let's get this thing open real quick and see what all kind of good stuff is in here. Now, get that right there. Come on, got it. I'm gonna just use that right there and cut this open. Oh, look at that. That's a lot smaller than what I thought it was going to be, to be honest with you. Now a bunch of stickers. Let's put these back here real quick, because we don't necessarily need these. Let me put you down real quick, find a good place for you, and then get this stuff out, pull it out, because we don't necessarily need it in the box, if you know what I mean. So yeah, that'll sit down in there nicely. Unhook that stuff, hook that one up. LED screen, it says. Now, let's put this right here. Let's see what's in here. Nice little box. Maybe that's just to keep it from, you know. This must be the charger. Dedicated lithium battery charger. Man, 5 8.4 volts, 20 amp. So, and I do believe that's just going to be able to stay in here. So let's, I still need to put you down because I need to grab that out. Okay, there's nice handles on here. That'd be awesome. I wondered how I was supposed to get this thing in here. Ah. Yeah, that's heavy. But that is nice if there's those handles on there. Because if not, I wasn't sure how I was going to get that thing in there. And this is nice. There's a little QR code right here that you can scan for these. App download. If leaving 5 days or longer, pack must be shut off. Oh, that's cool. And here's all the plug-in functionality. But oh, she's already on. Bluetooth, vent, power plus, power minus for the hookups. So let's I got to get these other batteries out and then we'll get into this. I'll go through the owner's manual and stuff and talk about some things. Get this battery charger or this touchscreen. That's going to be cool. I'll have to figure out where that's going to go and how I'm going to mount it somewhere around here so I can see what is going on. Got everything unhooked here from what I need, and I'm just taking these out one by one because they're kind of heavy, and I'm trying to see how that's going to sit in there because this has little things to hold the battery in. So I'm going to get these out real quick, and then I'm going to try and toss that in there, and we'll go from there on how this is going to fit, the placement, etc., if you will. So these are, you know, extremely pain in the butt to get in and out of there because they do have these little notches, and not to mention they're heavy and there's not a ton of room to grab. So that is going to be nice that it has those handles. I can just put it down because, you know, I got to do things like this. Let's put this one over here and then this one right here. Just like that. So let's get the rest of them out and then we'll come back when we go to install that battery. So we got this battery, and it's a little over 11 inches on the width here. I may need to put some kind of 2x4 blocking in here to lift it up to set on, because it's obviously not going to go in here because it's only 10 for those to sit in there on the battery section right there. So do I want it all the way up against the thing, because then I could have it up here. It may just have to sit on top of this and have this pushing it in. we'll try it real quick. I'll try to drop it down in there. If I need to switch around and move sides, I can. So that's a workout, putting those batteries in and out, because they're not light, and there's 6 of them. I was hoping that I would have been able to just drop this thing right down in there. That's not the case though. Okay. Let me see. I can probably sit down in there. It's not going to be as secure as what I'd like it to be, probably. Plus it's going to be at an angle, so I do need to get something to put on the bottom. That way I can build a base, pretty much, because this ain't just going to slap down in, but it'll sit on top of that thing if there's something down there. So I may just be able to throw a couple boards down in there. So let me go dig around and see what I can't come up with, because then I can use those boards to mount this thing in there so it doesn't get all bounced around. So I'm going to cut you out real quick, and I'm going to come back and we'll see what we can do to get this thing working. Alrighty, well, I'm back, and luckily I had some of this right here, so I didn't have to use any chunks of wood or anything, have it moving around. And nicely, these holes mounted right up, so I was able to get some hardware right in here. I had some clips, so this is nice and sturdy. So when I do drop this down there, it can sit on that and it can be fine, and then I can use this somehow to tighten it down so it's not going to go anywhere. Whether those are going to meet that or not, we'll see. But I was digging around, and it looks pretty simple. Looks like there's a couple screws that go in here for your positive, a couple in here for your negative. That is a connector for, I did get this stuff out. This right here, which goes to this LED screen. This is all in this little box right here that comes. This has the 2.8 touchable LCD display screen, and it comes with this hardware in here. Different hardware. I do believe those are the bolts right there that the positive and negative is going to go onto with all of the stuff I have. And then here's your charger. There's that for the positive and negative also. And then your plug-in right here that goes to this, and then you can just plop that bad boy out and charge it. So that'll probably be mounted somewhere in here, maybe back there. I don't know. There's enough room that I can mount it back there and have it somewhat close. So pretty much what I need to do now is basically go through my wires, get all the other plugins and stuff like that out of here, because I don't need them. I may need that one just in case. This little switch over here for this guy doesn't kick on the pedal. We went through that the last time we did the video. So let me get this drop down in there, and I'll start hooking some things up, and then we'll do more of a detailed hookup maybe, and then hopefully we'll be able to run that thing and we'll get some use out of it today. All right, folks, I'm back, and we're about 50% here. We're completely hooked up. Got my positive and my negatives hooked up. Everything to make the cart run is hooked up, and we're in the run position right now. We have the battery on this light. I threw this over here just to keep it from moving, because I couldn't necessarily put any bolts or anything like that. It would have still moved around, so just threw that in there. May figure something else out down the road. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I've even got this little screen on right here. This is where I just mounted it, so it's right under the steering wheel. When I'm cruising, if you will, I can look down and see anything I need to. Right now we're at 50% charging. Our current voltage is 19.6. Our voltage 53.7. Temperature 104. It is awful warm here. 2 hours and 44 minutes until it has a full charge. So it's only going to take 2 hours and 44 minutes for this thing to be 100%. When I first put it in and hooked everything up, it was at 52%. Now, I did take it a little bit for a cruise around the yard real quick, because my daughter stopped by, and I just stopped what I was doing. So the filming had to come to a pause, but it is what it is. So we're at 51% right now charging. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this thing charge up till it's 100, and then we're going to be running it hot and heavy tomorrow probably, because I want to see how long this thing will go and how many hours. Actually, I should be able to see all of that on there. Maybe when I unplug it, it stops charging, because when you're charging it, it doesn't show, it shows everything for charging. Let's see what page 2 says. So we do have other things right now. Now just the temperature, miniatures. 3. See if there's anything on page 3. Okay, just I do believe whatever that is, that might be just some kind of model number or something like that. But yeah, this is what comes up, and then the temperature is always different when it pops up. But this is all black. It has been sitting out in the sun. So, and I just threw this on here really quick. I got one bolt holding it on right here's where the charger is mounted, and then I got a big zip tie holding that down so it doesn't move around. Just like with this, got a zip tie there holding that. Really wasn't too big of a deal to hook everything up. It's just, timely doing it, or trying to fabricate it, fix it, to where it would sit proper and ride nice. But it I think it's probably lighter, since that's only 104. If I had a scale around, I would weigh one of those batteries, and I would tell you how much weight I'm losing from switching to this, and I'm probably gonna gain a lot off of that with speed and or takeoff torque, if you will. So yeah, I probably ran it for maybe 15 minutes around the yard, and it dropped 2%. So who knows, it may just need a charge. And but we'll see. I mean, if I can run this thing for 3 weeks just around the yard, not have to charge it, that would be cool. And that's pretty much what the batteries have been in comparison to those. I really don't take it too far. Work the Cushman when I need to around here, but now's peak season because there's leaves falling from the trees. So this thing's going to be definitely getting a work out here, pulling the lawn sweep around. So that's probably the next thing you're going to see is me hooking that up to that tomorrow morning, and then we're going to go through there. And I'm gonna read some of this stuff and see. I'm gonna do some research and see how long this is supposed to actually be able to go for. £102. That's what it was. So we'll see. All right, well, it's the next day, and I've had this thing on the charger for all night. It says it's at 100% battery, so the temperature is good. 54.8 volts. Wow, that's more than 52. So let me get it unplugged, since I have the charger and everything hooked up down here. I just dropped the cord out the bottom and plug it in. Everything feels cool. Doesn't feel hot at all. It kicked back on. It's on standby, so I don't even think the battery's on, to be honest with you. Unplug it, shove the cord back up, and off we go. Okay, so that says there's 8 hours and 19 minutes at 100%, so we'll see. I'm sure it'll go longer than that, and I don't think I would ever get 8 full hours of use out of this thing at a time. But if this thing can go for 8 hours, that's pretty cool, especially if like you're using something like this for a golf cart application, to where you're on a course, or it's something that's going to be used by multiple people all the time. You never know. But I'll be back. We are going to use this thing today, and I'll let you know how it does. I think I've used this thing for probably an hour and a half straight, rolling the yard, picking up the leaves and stuff, and that's all it dropped down. So I probably won't charge it until it gets to about 52% again. So we'll see how much we can use this thing within the next week, until it at least drops down to there. Days, hours. I don't think I'll need to do this for a few days, but I don't know. The wind is going to pick up, the weather's going to get colder, and the leaves are going to be falling. So I honestly don't plan on charging that thing until it gets down like 25%. So who knows how long that'll last. And for now, I've got what I wanted to picked up. So I'll let it sit there and hang out for a while and check it out later. All right, well, it's been a day since I was back with the old Cushman and the battery. So I'm at 83% right now because I did move it around a little bit. I was cleaning out the garage and stuff, but I'm going to, and it was at 86 when I first fired it up this morning. But I'm gonna run it down the road a couple miles and see what kind of, you know, droppage it will have when I put some mileage on this thing, because I really just moved it around the yard, and want to kind of see what it'd be like, you know, running down a couple miles here.
I did turn the battery off while it was sitting, so it's not like the battery was on the whole time or anything. Let's cross here. Go over here. Pretty much do a straight mile in the ditch here. Right now it's too hard to see because of the sun, what the voltage is doing, how much current it's pushing. I know it's pushing the same amount because this thing's awesome, so it pushes 52 volts instead of just regular 48.
getting ready to do an overpass here. They're building it, and I would love to be able to run this thing down here at night and catch trucks going through, cool trucks, because I'm a truck driver and I just happen to have a Cushman and a YouTube channel. That's where we came up with the opportunity to do this battery. So I went over 2 miles. I'm down to 77% right now. That's all my current readings. Probably not very clear, and I'm sorry. So I'm going to turn the camera off right now. I'm going to boogie on back home, and once I get back, I'll let you know what my percentages are and stuff like that. We'll do some quick adding, and we'll see what we lost and how long it took us to get there. But to be honest with you, this thing's awesome because it's going full blast pretty much the whole time. Okay, so with that, I probably close to 4.5 miles just by going up and turning around by the new bridge that's coming in, on-ramp, the overpass, if you will. We're at 72%. Just coming back, it says I have an hour, and doing this right here, I've got an hour and 45 minutes that I could run this thing straight like this before it would die out on me. 72%. It's at 50% currency. Voltage is still 51.50, so we're still close to 52, and we're still pushing 17 miles per hour, so definitely can't complain about that. I'm not sure exactly where another mile would be on here, but we're still pushing this thing, and yeah, it's dropping, but it's not like it's dropping drastically to where I feel like I'm going to get stranded or anything. I could literally probably run this thing for a month around the house and never have to charge it. Or if I wanted to use it, I know I've got some good solid hours of use I could get out of it without having to worry about stopping and charging it. Like, I could have rolled the whole yard with the roller, and that's, I do believe, a 7-acre lot up there that I live on. So yeah, it'll do work. It'll do good work. It'll do really good work. See, right now the temperature is up to 94%. Not really using any currency. I know you can't see that because of the glare and the light and stuff, and I'm sorry, it's just one of those things. Regardless, this is an awesome battery, and I really appreciate Vatrer sending this to me to be able to use in my Cushman around the house, so I can get a ton of use out of this thing. Oh man, well, it's been 2 weeks since I put this battery in, and I've charged it one time. This thing's probably got about 10 miles on it, and been all over the place, all over the yard. We're at 49% right now. I charged it once last weekend to run it down the road because there was a bunch of parties for the fall, and I ran it back and forth between a couple cabins. So it was good use, and took it out in the woods and scared a bunch of people. So thank you to Vatrer for sending me that battery. That thing is completely solid. I'm getting ready to take off on the road, and I'm probably going to be gone for a while. And I know at 50%, the thing's still going to be able to get them around for a week if they need to use it around the house. But yeah, solid battery. Really enjoyed it. I charged it last week. It probably took 2 hours to charge all the way from 50%, maybe even less than that, but it charges quick and it does good and it stays charged. That thing's been on with the battery power on for probably 7 days, and it loses 1% a day, so it's not that big of a deal. But as quick as that thing charges, it's awesome. And you can turn that battery off too, so it doesn't use any power standing by. So check them out. Thank you. Big shouts to Vatrer for sending that. If there's a discount code, I'll make sure to put that in the description, in the link to where you can jump on and get this battery if you want it, or one like it.